Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session today. I am Sharon Duffy. I am the Research Services Librarian and the Liaison Librarian for the School of Medicine. And today, my presentation is going to be an introduction to DynaMed, a clinical decision tool. The slides are available and will be shared in the chat. I have them more as a reference. I'll use them a little bit, but some of it will be live demo. So they're more as a standalone resource for later use, but you can follow along as well. All right, so here's an outline of what I'm going to cover with DynaMed. First, I'm going to explain what it is, how to access it, and the importance of creating a personal account. We'll go over the features and tools that are inside DynaMed. I'm going to discuss how to browse and follow by specialty. That's an important aspect of DynaMed. Then I'll talk about searching it and how to view the results. There's two different options that they're offering now. And then how to navigate a topic or an article and find the information that's contained in there. Then I'm going to talk about the DynaMed levels of evidence. This is something unique to them that I'll go over and show where those show up. And then talk about using some EBSCO toolbar features and how to find additional help. And then at the end, I'm going to do a little comparison to UptoDate. DynaMed is definitely the second tier product in this field, but it's making great strides. So I did some research and we'll talk about how it compares to UptoDate today. And then we'll have time for questions at the end. But if you have any questions during the time, feel free to put them in the chat. We have somebody monitoring it and we can work it in. All right, so what is DynaMed? So DynaMed it's known as a clinical reference and point of care information tool. Again, it's very similar to UptoDate. These are articles and topics that are written and researched and peer reviewed by healthcare professionals, so they are experts in the field. One thing that's become more prominent is these experts kind of disclosing any conflicts of interest. So when we're in one of the articles, I'll show you where DynaMed provides that information. Some of the research I did showed that none of the DynaMed authors had any conflicts of interest for reports they were writing. UptoDate did have some, so there's just a general push these days to emphasize disclosure of any potential conflicts of interest. So DynaMed is designed to provide quick and easy clinical answers meant to be used at the bedside in the clinical setting, much better than Google as a resource. And it helps physicians and clinicians provide evidence-based patient care. So you're going to find targeted summaries, quick diagnostic management information, lots of guidelines, international and national practice guidelines, and then also some clinical expertise. So they will sometimes put in what they would suggest that you do. It's also a great resource for earning CME credits, for training, and for revalidation. So it's a really wonderful tool for the clinical setting. All right, so what's the way to access that? So there's really two main routes. One is you can go through our database link and then click on the letter D to find DynaMed, but it's also available off of our library page through some of our quick menus. It's under popular links, it's under students, it's under clinicians, and it's under residents. So whatever one you pick, but that's probably the easiest way. So I think at this point, first I'm going to talk about the personal account and then I'm going to go into DynaMed. All right, so when we get in, you're going to see this little icon to create a personal account. And this is really an important thing to do for this platform because it gives you full access to all the features. It also allows you to sign in from the mobile app. It does have an app, and I strongly recommend if you're going to be using it to install that. So that's required for that. If you want to track CMEs, that you need that. And the other important thing is for creating alerts and keeping track of changes. I'll show you where we can do that on the page, and you need that personal account. If you already have a My EBSCO account, maybe from Cinol or maybe from the Discovery Host or any other EBSCO product, it's the exact same account. So you can use it if you already have it. Okay, so let's go to DynaMed. So I'm going to open it up here. And all right, so here's our library webpage. So I'm going to use one of the quick links off of the clinicians page. Just go straight to DynaMed. Okay. All right, so I'm going to kind of walk through this toolbar up here and talk about some of the things that you will find in here. All right, so specialties, you can just browse by specialty, and this is a way to find where you can do that quick follow, and this would alert you of any changes in any article related to this topic. So if you're interested in the whole topic, the whole discipline, then this is a good thing to do. You can also follow alerts only on specific articles, and I'll show you how to do that when we get into those. But this is the a nice overview. There are 45 specialties that they cover in DynaMed. The next is alerts. When you're signed in, you can create alerts for your things, but otherwise, this is a good place to go just to see what, like a log of any alerts that have been issued and the timestamps. This is a drug database as well. It is linked with Micromedex. Just for comparison, UptoDate is linked with Lexicomp. But this is where you can look up any medicine. It's alphabetical, so you have to get to the right letter, and then you can search within that list. So that's a handy feature. It also has information about chemotherapy regimens from the National Comprehensive Cancer Network. So you can do it either by disease or by agent. You can learn more information about those. The drug interactions tool is also a nice feature. You can put two or more. If I had two in here, I could add a third. Put the drug names in, and it'll alert you of any drug interactions. So again, in the clinical setting, this is a quick tool, a quick way to check before you prescribe things or check to see what other patients are already taking to look for those interactions. And then there's some handy calculators that you might want quick reference to, decisions trees, things like that. And then the final thing here, this is a PDF document of the fundamentals of evidence-based medicine. So if you just want to learn more about evidence-based medicine in general, this is a resource for that. Okay, and then here's where you would log in, and this is where you would get information about those CME credits. Okay, so I think we're ready to search DynaMed. Okay, so I'm going to do just a general search. You can see it's a very basic search box. You can throw in whatever you want. I'm going to do a very broad subject search. So you see when you're typing it in, it does kind of pre-populate some topics so you can save some time or see what's available. I'm going to do just the most general diabetes search to start. All right, so one thing DynaMed is offering, this is kind of new, and I don't see it on all the topics, but when you do a broad topic, they have this view now called collection. And this is meant to be kind of a curated selection of key resources related to this topic, because obviously this is a very broad topic. So it kind of helps you narrow more specific, find more specifically what you're looking for. I didn't see it on all topics, so they are adding to this and expanding it, but it's just a new presentation that they're offering. They also still have the classic search results. So depending on what your topic is, you might see that collection. You can certainly click things from there, but I'm going to more discuss the classic search results because this is probably what people are more familiar with. So when you get to this menu, there's quick links to the videos and the images and the calculators related to this topic. So it's a different menu than what we saw before for those calculators. These are going to be the specific diabetes ones. You can narrow to a specific patient population, and then there's a lot of different content types. So I'm going to click on this one here to look at a specific condition. So we're going to look at hypoglycemia in diabetes. So this is a good one to kind of walk through what you will find in a topic article. So first you'll see the last data was updated. UptoDate, or DynaMed, and also UptoDate is updated on a daily basis. Every day there's something being updated. So this one was last updated in April. Here's the information about the editors and any conflicts of interest. So if you had any concerns about that or just wanted to review, all of that is very, very prominently available on the front page. Let's see. Over here we have whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for how to diagnose it, You can jump right to that section, the test that you would need to run. And all of these links here are to a reference or a guideline. So all of these hyperlinks here take you back to a source to back up the information. If you just want to know how to manage it, you'll see that here. I want to point out where to find the guidelines. A common question or a common resource people are seeking are those practice guidelines, and they're available here through DynaMed. So there's international, there's United States, different societies, and then also other countries. So that's a quick way to find those. It also offers patient information. So if you need handouts, patient resources, those are also available through here. And then all the references for everything that's mentioned in the article and links then directly to PubMed to get to the article. So this is a lot of information here. And then the other kind of handy feature is you can search just within this topic for a word. So if I just want to look to see where metformin is mentioned, I can just jump to those. Oh, maybe this one doesn't have metformin. If you were looking for a particular term, you could search it just within this article. So that's a nice feature as well. Okay, so I think that covers searching and viewing. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my slides because I want to spend a little time talking about these DynaMed levels of evidence. Okay, so this is something that's unique to DynaMed. And what they have done, I see these mostly in the management section. When they make a management suggestion, they will provide a link to a study, and then they are now assigning some level of confidence to that particular piece of evidence. So there's level 1, level 2, and level 3. So level 1 is the most, the strongest. It's a very likely reliable study. So the study has been analyzed. It meets a high standard of quality, and the evidence from there can be relied on more confidently. So these are from randomized controlled trials, or the conclusions are from a large body of evidence. The next level is level 2. So this is where it's based on clinical outcomes, it's based on research, but maybe not quite as high quality as is needed to require to achieve the level 1. So a mid-level of confidence. And then the third one is level 3, and these are really lacking direct evidence, really no randomized controlled trials. Might be a case report, might be a case series, might just be an expert opinion. So, you know, it just kind of gives the clinician a little bit of additional information to save them time. So here's an example from the management of peptic ulcer disease. This one had different suggestions in the management. And so there was a study, and this one was assigned the DynaMed level 1. So somebody would know this was a fairly well done randomized controlled trial. I can rely on this. This is a level 2, also a randomized controlled trial. This one was a level 3. So maybe just not as well of a run study. So it just gives the clinician a little guidance about how much weight to give to each of these recommendations. All right, then the other thing I just want to show on a screenshot is the EBSCO toolbars. Because it's an EBSCO product, these might look familiar to some of their other products. This is follow. So if you wanted to just follow this topic, just get alerted when there's changes here, you could do that right here. Again, you do need that personal account. You can get a citation. So if you want to use this information as a reference, you can get a citation for DynaMed, and then you can print parts of it, and then you can share, get a URL link. So those are just tools provided by EBSCO. And then they also offer additional help. Down at the bottom of their screen, this help screen takes you to their user guide and additional tutorials, PowerPoints, additional information for using specific features of DynaMed. So they offer that. All right, now I think we are ready to do the comparison to UptoDate. All right, so we do not have access to UptoDate through LSU Health. So I had to do some research. And this generally what I found the main difference that people talk about is the way the information is presented. just the way it looks to the user, the interface. So in UptoDate, you're going to get longer narrative style, more paragraphs, more like a textbook. That's just the way the information is presented. And when you do a search, you'll find multiple articles about a single topic. And it's been reported that some users find that a little overwhelming, a little confusing. They don't exactly know where to start. They're in a rush, and sometimes it's unclear which article is going to be the best one for them. UptoDate does provide more expert opinions, so the authors will say in our practice or we recommend. So there's a little bit more guidance from the experts in UptoDate. In DynaMed, as we saw with the article that we looked at, it's a little more concise, bulleted outline format. It's meant to be scanned, and it's easier to compare the recommendations. So users have reported that they do like that approach from DynaMed of the way it's presented. Usually you'll see a single article about a topic and all the topic information is grouped together. I think that new collection view even does a better job of that. So if you really don't know where to start, if you get that view and you can kind of see all your options and then decide where you want to dig a little deeper. And DynaMed is also deemed kind of more overtly evidence-based, and that's probably from those levels of evidence assignments that it gives. It's really focused on, finding that best evidence, presenting it, and providing that to the clinician. So here's some of this basic comparison of the two. Content coverage is similar. There are more specialties identified in DynaMed than in UptoDate. They use different drug databases. They both monitor journals. DynaMed also monitors Cochrane database. They are both monitoring guidelines. DynaMed has a little bit more extensive coverage on that, perhaps more international guidelines than UptoDate. But there are many features that are common to both, and that's why they can be both used reliably in the setting. They're both updated daily. They both will provide those practice-changing updates. So if something big happens, you can set up those alerts and reminders or updates from either one. They're both written by experts and peer-reviewed. They both have that patient information. They both have mobile apps. They both have CME credits, and they provide those direct links to supporting articles. So generally, our recommendation is use both. If you're in the hospital setting and you have access to UptoDate, great. But go ahead and install the DynaMed app because that's a tool that you have access to at this time. So use it when you can. Take a look at it, compare it, because once your time at LSU is done, you don't know which one you're going to have in your next setting. So take advantage of this time to get familiar and comfortable with both of them. UptoDate is definitely the hospital one. DynaMed is used more by academic institutions, private practices, community clinics. It's a little bit more affordable, and the pricing model is more appropriate for those settings. So definitely use it while you have it. And DynaMed is really improving. If you're talking to somebody who like 5 years ago didn't like DynaMed, take a fresh look at it. They really make a lot of strides and improvements, and are really it's a solid product and a good alternate to UptoDate these days. All right, so that wraps up my formal presentation. We do have some QR codes available. If you can provide us a very short survey we do to collect some metrics, that's like 5 questions. We are on Instagram if you're not already following us, so that you can keep up to date with things that we're doing. And the best way to stay up to date with us is to scan this last QR code to get our library emails. That's where you'll find out about classes like this. You'll find out when this one is posted and available for viewing online. And then my contact information is here. You can also contact the library at any time for additional assistance. So, do we have any questions? We are good to go. All right. Well, again, thank you very much for attending. I hope you learned something about DynaMed, and feel free to reach out if you need any more assistance.
Thank you.
Have a good day.